Have you ever watched that movie Sliding Doors? I think it came out in like 1998 with Gwyneth Paltrow. It's basically about a young girl who is going out with this guy and she catches a train home, I think after a day's work. Don't quote me on this because it's been a long time, but I vaguely remember the story. And yeah, she catches a train home, and one scenario is that she just manages to put her hand in the doors as they're sliding and manages to get on the train and arrives home. And the second scenario is that she misses the train by literally the doors closed and she couldn't get a hand in time and missed the train, had to get the next train. And the bizarre thing about the whole movie is that the one that she did catch, the time that she did catch the train, she got home and caught her boyfriend with another lady. And obviously that was horrendous, and it was like a domino effect of that course of her life and what happened after that, blah, blah, blah. And then the second one is where she arrived home, her boyfriend's in the shower, and she knew absolutely nothing of the incident of boyfriend cheating. And it leads to different, the whole movie's about these two different paths she took, the one where she caught the train and the one where she just missed the train. And it's incredible how it all plays out. And I don't want to ruin it for you. I know it's like 25, 30 years old or whatever, but if you haven't watched it, it is a good movie. And it got me thinking about what, we all hear these stories about, oh, your life is mapped out for you, yes, you make decisions, but, someone's got a path for you and blah, blah, blah. And I always wondered how true that actually was. And I posted a video a few months ago, one of my little short story videos about how I met my wife. And if you haven't watched that video, go back and watch it. But just to sort of sum it up really quickly, my best friend was on holiday with a couple of other friends, and he met this girl, and they had this holiday romance. And then now we're talking 30 years ago here, right? Like 1995. So it was a long time ago. So there's no mobile phones or anything like that, no texting, nothing, right? So you can imagine you meet a girl on holiday, the relationship just dwindled out, and that was that. And then 2 years later, this girl is in a nightclub with her best friend, or one of her best friends, and her best friend said, who's that guy over there? I recognize him from somewhere. And she'd seen a picture of my best friend on this girl's fridge in a uni accommodation. And anyway, one thing led to another, where this girl was like, oh, wow, that's amazing. That's this guy that I met on holiday 2 years ago, and we lost contact. And anyway, he's in this nightclub, and they get together. And anyway, that best friend who recognized the picture on the fridge happened to be my wife of 25 years. So go and watch the whole video if you want, but that was a quick summary. And it actually only dawned on me the other day. This is how weird it is, and this is why I go back to this sliding doors thingy, is that I went for, so I met my wife in 97, okay? And I went for a job interview in, I think it was about 1992. And it was like this internship. And it happened every sort of, I think it was like every 4 or 6 weeks or something like that. They would bring new interns in and you had to go through this program. And on that course, we had to do this final exam. And I failed that exam by 1 point, by 1 mark. Okay. And I was told that I couldn't progress any further because I'd failed the exam, and you had to pass the exam, and I failed it by 1 mark. My life at that stage was I was completely devastated. I was so upset, didn't know what I was going to do. My parents were divorced and all that sort of stuff. So I was like, what? Oh, it was just awful. I remember those feelings, and it was horrendous. However, failing that exam by 1 mark made or changed my path in life, and I had to go away and then come back again and do another like set of exams and do the whole like internship again. But the second time that I went back and did that was the time that I actually met one of my best friends. And if I'd have passed that exam, if I'd have answered that one question correct, I would have passed the exam and I would have progressed, and I would never have met one of my best friends now. Okay? And that one of my best friends now, that was the guy that had the holiday romance that enabled me and my wife to have a blind date in 1997 and then get married and be married for over 26 years. And we've got 2 kids, and my friend has got 3 kids. So that whole series of events happened because, 1, I failed an exam by 1 point. 1 point, 1 mark. I failed an exam. And the second sliding doors moment, if you want to say that, is my future wife, for 1 split second, recognized a guy who was in a nightclub that she'd seen somewhere before. And that is just, honestly, you know, when people say, oh yeah, your life's mapped out for you and all this sort of stuff, and you everyone's skeptical and everyone doesn't believe it, and they're like, oh yeah, whatever. I tell you, sometimes you really, really, really do have to think about it, and it sort of circles round to, you know, and I've done videos about this in the past, and I will be continually doing a few videos and talking about it. But when you fail in life, when you don't get the marks you want to get, when you don't get what you want to get or where you want to be, or whatever it is, whether it's a job, whether you get made redundant, whether you break up with somebody and you think your whole world is ripped apart, whether you lose financially a lot of money and you just think life's just, you know, not worth it anymore, okay? I'm telling you, from my 50 plus years on this planet, I'm telling you now that there is a situation where 1 door closes and all you got to do is just turn around like 180 degrees or even 90 degrees, and there'll be another opportunity, another door opens, and that potentially is where your life is mapped out for you. It's weird, honestly. I try to explain it as best I can, and I hope you get it, but I've got so many different things that have happened to me in my life, so many disappointments of being made redundant, and, you know, having breakups in relationships, and, you know, girls cheating on me, and I mean, everything you can imagine. There's so many different things that's happened. I've lost loads of money, and every time I look back at that situation and I go, wow, that is incredible. Because that moment when I was at my lowest, at the time when I thought that, how can I carry on? How can I get back, dust myself off, get back on my feet and keep going forward? I'm just tired. I'm exhausted. This is always happening to me. I never get the break. I never this, I never that. And then suddenly something comes in a different way, different form, different path. You take it, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 years later, you look back and go, that was the way it should have been. Like, if I didn't do that and open that door or take that path, I would never be where I am now. So yeah, it's just a bit of a food for thought. Thought I'd just put this video up. I haven't posted for a couple of weeks. I'm really sorry. Things have really taken on a different twist for me at the moment with some personal issues and work. So do apologise. I will try so hard to post more videos more frequently for you. But anyway, just thought I'd little takeaway from this. I'd love to hear if you've got any of these really cool stories where you've had a scenario where something didn't work out, and at the time it was just the worst thing ever, and then suddenly, you know, you reflect back on that sliding door moment and thought, if I had have just done that, or if if that had worked for me just then, or if I hadn't have failed that, or if I'd have passed this, whatever it is, it's incredible. It really is incredible how life works. So yeah, and if you haven't seen that movie Sliding Doors, go and watch it. But I'm sure you can get it free somewhere now because it's like 1998, I think it came out. Very young Gwyneth Paltrow. But yeah, brilliant. Anyway, listen, thanks so much for listening. Again, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I've got loads and loads of videos talking about everything to do with life, because that's the channel. Let's talk about life with Anton. And yeah, I'm going to be posting loads more stuff up. I've got to do another video actually about my goal setting for 2025 that I basically did post a video a couple of weeks ago saying that I'd set these goals for 2025, and I achieved most of my goals for the first time ever. So yeah, I did that. So go and watch that video if you want. I've got to do a follow-up of that as well about what my actual goals were, and yeah, we'll post that hopefully soon. So anyway, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.